And it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready? Black 25. Easy, easy, easy. I'm coming after you. Hey. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
First down, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Jameis to throw it. He finds his target. It's Evans. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
Green, triple T. Mike 50. Mike 50.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. It's caught. Jones. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long.
47's the mic, boys. 40. Check. 46.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And he's going to go down again.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On the return, it's Kamara. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And they work this well upfield across. That's the 45.
Complete to Michael Thomas. A gain of 22 yards. And the Saints first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
2nd down. Haskins finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 34-yard line.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34. Now Haskins on 1st down. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Now Kamara. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Haskins. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Haskins. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 18.
Here we go. Here we go. 50. Mike 50. Swing, triple team. It's out time. Check.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they try to sweep to Jones. And the ball is out. Now Brown, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball. But the best ones have that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need to get to the football and make it happen, and that he does.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. Now, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
On set. 45 to left. We don't want this.
Third and 2, now Haskins. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport, the first-rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Winston now. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Kamara now to return. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 39-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball. And that's caught inside the 35. Give them 32 on the play.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
On the carry, it's Samuels. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the Buccaneers' 29-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Now the wolf.
Throwing on 2nd down. Haskins. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 14.
Michael Thomas. A gain of 16 yards. First down, Saints.
Here we go. Set. 56. Watch out. Watch out.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Squeeze, double. Check 52.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
On the ready. 45. Check Mike 45. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
They completed the screen, but one of the things you worry about is can the quarterback get rid of the ball before he's actually tackled? So your offensive linemen have to hold up the rushers a little bit because you want to make sure you keep your guy's jersey clean throughout the game.
The kick by Lutz is good, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison. Forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Winston. This one complete to Scott Miller. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
I got him. 4-7's the mic. 4-7's the mic. Check. 47.
3rd and long for Winston. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Draw play, Winston to Jones. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Let's go now.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Winston, he's got this one complete to Sherfield. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Barber. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
47 Mike. 47 Mike. Mike 47. It's just me and you. It's just easy. Hey. Wait. Check Mike 47. Check Mike 47.
2nd down and goal. Winston. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Justin Watson, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Graham Gano on for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But I also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. On 2nd down, Kamara. And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Here we go. Mike 45. Heavy on the edges.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Gain of 9 yards. First down, New Orleans.
Ready. Pittsburgh. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Haskins hit, and he lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Looking to throw, Haskins. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately. I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. And he finds Howard complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for 4th down. On now, the former Vol, Michael Pilardi. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Check 45 to my order. 45 to my. Hey, let's get this.
From the 27, Haskins. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll run on first down. Waters. Past the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
2nd and 6 at the 29-yard line.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Okay, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get easy. Flip it.
Now Winston. And this is caught by Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Barber on 1st and 10. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Back to the ground, this time to Jones. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Check. 36. SOS. Check.
Off the play fake, Winston. And the grab by Croft. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Watch the run. This side, baby. That's a baby side. 47's the mark.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 20-yard line.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, and he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
Jameis to throw it. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Lightning speed that time from the corner. Marshawn Lattimore getting the sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, Winston. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kaiser White, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Rip left. Check safety.
Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
On first down, it's Waters. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Ready? 45, Mike, 45. It's a party now. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Ready? Pittsburgh. I got you. Whip. Watch the whip.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
From midfield now, Haskins. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Shaquille Barrett able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16.
Here we go.
Out of the shotgun, Haskins. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 33. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Haskins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Kamara in the passing game. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
First and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Got it. 56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56. Let's go, D.
On the ground, this is Kamara. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's Haskins. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Winston. Looking downfield for Jones. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Check. Easy. Come on, D. Mike's 47.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. Oh, he's got some breathing room. The 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. 50 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That 3rd one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. And some room to roam now. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. Tackle made that time by B.J. Hill.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the humid Florida sky. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And the Buccaneers, first down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. He's stopped right there. Hey. 4 down.
On play action, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Wait. Green, everything.
Winston now. He's going to let it fly. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
They're going to try for it on 4th. Winston stays out there.
Easy. Flip it.
Winston to throw for it on 4th. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape.
56. In your face.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 30-yard line.
So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Saints, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire